when I went to Tokyo,
Mhm.
you know, I started hanging out with these dance cats, but I couldn't dance, bro. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of how like professionals, you know, how they go into classes. But I never took a class before. I never did choreography. So when you're in there and you're dancing, like I can groove or whatever, but I could not like hold a routine. I couldn't, you know, it was just a foreign thing to me. Obviously, it's a hard thing to do. So all these JC people are looking at me like, oh, you know, you're like the real deal. I'm like, are you from New York? And they're like, dang, I'm getting all this street cred, but I'm like, yo, I really can't dance like y'all. Like y'all are better dancers than me. And like, you know, my dance teachers at the time, Shu and all those cats, they had more knowledge about dance than me. They were teaching me about elite force, bro. I had no idea about that culture, you know what I'm saying? So I thought it was interesting that through dance and through hip hop, you learn about yourself and learn about your culture,
Right.
you know, through other cultures and other people. So that's like the thing. All black people can't dance, meaning not all black people are, you know, hip hop dancers. Not all black people can sing and dance and things like that. We're all diverse set of people. But that also means that just because you're, you know, European or Asian doesn't mean you can't be hip hop as well. You know what I'm saying? To know the culture. That's my kind of breakdown of it. So
It's kind of funny that you say that, you know, all black people can't dance, and you base it off because you couldn't pick up a routine, um, and you base that as that was the main dance component, but you could dance. You
yes.
just couldn't do routine.
Yeah.
Most black people that learn how to dance, we learn how to dance at home.
Correct.
And when we did, you know, routines, you know, we did routines because we know we're doing showcases for like Big Mama's house, you know,
Yes.
and if we're gonna get all the family together, we're gonna do a little dance routine, and we run into the back room, put something together, come back out and do this little, you know, dance song routine, and that's probably to an extent of a routine, let alone, you know, the family bus stop, you know, those type of dances. But those are all social dances, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so even with that being said, you know, I didn't do no routines growing up unless I was going to do a performance. But most black people, how many of them went to a dance school to learn hip hop? You know, how many went to the school to learn breaking? You know, in the 80s, I ain't going to no school.
Yeah.
I learned from the cats at my elementary school.
Yeah.
I went to K through 12, so I learned from the people from the high school.
Yeah.
I watched people on the dance that dance on the corner. So that was my school.
Yeah.
I mean,
Soul Train a bit as well. You know what I'm saying?
Train,
a little bit of that.
Watching the Michael Jackson videos.
Michael, yeah.
You know, seeing what was being put out there. You know, the Herbie Hancock video. So it's just we didn't actually have a hip hop school. There was no hip hop class. You know, when you went outside, that was your class.
That was your class.
You know, the whoever you was rocking with.
Yep.
Are you breaking? Are you waving? All right, I'm gonna watch you do you, and I'm gonna copy and mimic what you did. But I'm gonna add my spin on it, and then we're just gonna exchange this way. So we was always in school, hip hop wise.
And it was like you said, a natural thing. And like, you know, like you said, I learned dance or groove. You know, a lot of my friends in Japan like, oh yeah, you have nice groove. Well, groove comes from being able to dance socially. And my mom, listening to R&B and stuff, would always be like, yo, Isom, dance with me. You know, do this Casey two-step with me or something like that, right? So from there, you're like, oh, mom, I don't want to do this anymore. But, you know, you learn down the road, okay, this kind of taught you how to not only dance socially, but also dance with women, you know, keep a groove, keep a beat, you know what I mean? So
yeah, most black people dance socially anyway. With, you know, family gatherings, picnics, reunions. Like you said, just dancing at home. Sometimes your mom makes you dance with them when you didn't want to dance or not.
Exactly.
Like, get up here and dance. I don't want to dance. You're going to dance right now.
Right.
And, you know, and then y'all be dancing, and you pick up some things and learn from that. And you just took that from home and went out and just did it publicly.
Yeah.
You know, I think most, you know, black people that dance really well. This is just my opinion, and also living through it.
Yeah.
Is that we grew up to music in the house almost 24/7.
Correct.
You wake up to music, you clean to
Clean
music,
the music. I was about to say that. Yep. Yep.
you took a nap to music, your mama cooked to music. Sometimes the music just playing in the house with some incense burning, just because
Wow.
you just have music in the house.
Yeah.
You come home from school, your mama got music on.
Yeah.
You doing your homework, sometimes your mama got music on.
Yeah.
And depending what was on TV, if it was a dope jingle, you had music on. So we always had that in our back, how about I said, I would say in the back of us. It never faded. Music was always there.
Yep.
You know, even when you got in the car, you know, the song came on, your mama or your dad like, this is my jam. They turn the music all the way up, and everybody knew dancing around. Sometimes looking at our parents like,
y'all crazy. Like, what are y'all doing?
what you doing? What song is this?
Yes.
But after a while, you know, it rubbed on you, and then the music rubbed on you, and then the records, they rubbed on you, but to the point where they were like, don't touch my record.
Yeah.
You know, don't touch my record. But you know that record, that track was hot. So you wanted to be like, play this song. You know, even back then, you know, we had different understanding of music.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the point.
Yeah.
You just didn't understand how to do choreography.
Right. Yeah. So and that's and again, the funny thing about it was we all have these cultural stereotypes of people, you know? So like, and that's the whole play on words with the ABCD. All black people can't dance was like, yeah, not all black people can dance. We have a cultural aspect of it where we're exposed to a little bit more, but also just giving props to hip hop culture in general, man, how it's brought everybody together under one banner, which is the dopest always wins, man. You know, I mean, there's maybe some politics involved, whatever, not put it to the side, but at the end of the day, if you rock the crowd, that's undeniable. And that's something that is, regardless of gender, race, creed, color, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you rocking the crowd, then, you know what I'm saying, that's just what it is. And, you know, that's, you know, like you travel, I mean, you've been in this game for a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been here for quite some time, man. And I'm blessed to say that I'm still doing it.
I mean, you holding it down, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into that a little bit, Shug. So break down for us, you know, just your journey growing up and how you became involved in the scene and what has kept you just as I guess, a mainstay in a rock, especially here in KC.
Oh man, like I said, we're going back to the beginning.
You got to.
You know, like when your parents had music in the house, and you just dance, not knowing any of the steps. You know, I was younger. I didn't know the name of steps. I just did them. You know, my mom did them. I copied her. My uncles and my cousins did them. I copied them. And you know, as I got older, I started to learn the name of dances when I got into like my, you know, 3rd grade, 4th grade year. But before that, you know, I started breaking in San Diego. So originally I'm from Houston, Texas. My dad was in the military, so we traveled. But I started breaking, and I was like 5. And I was in San Diego, California when I started breaking. You know, I started breaking, and I was popping, and I was waving. Back then, you know, it was like the triple threat, you know, popping, waving, and breaking. You know, you just did all of it.
You did all of it, yeah.
But I learned from like cats from the school I went to. I went to a school called Balboa Elementary School. It was a K through 12 school. And so I learned from the high school kids. But also, we used to go to the parks and stuff and see people dancing at the park. I would learn from them. But, you know, I was very, let's say, watching a lot of Michael Jackson videos that my mom used to record on the VHS tapes.
Yes.
And, you know, I remember when I came home from school, she was recording she recorded the Thriller.
Oh man, that's a classic. The making of Thriller.
The VHS.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually still have that original recording when it was on TV when it aired.
Yep.
But other than that, man, you know, fast forwarding to my teen years, you know.
So you went to elementary school and junior high in San Diego?
Nah, actually, like I said, my dad was military,
Yeah.
so we traveled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so from let's see, from that age, I moved back to Texas first by my second grade year. After my second grade year, my third grade year, I moved to Japan. So I'm in Japan, Okinawa, Japan, for my third grade and fifth grade year.
Wow.
And this is when I got really heavy into breaking at the time. This is when I actually saw my first B Street movie and Breaking 1 and Breaking 2 on VHS in Japan. And I'm trying to like steal the moves off of there. I'm trying to record. This is when like the music to me was so dope that I had to take my radio, my Sony radio, it was a cassette with one speaker, and I would play the movie, take my radio and put it next to the speaker and press record and hit play on the VCR just to get the hip hop music off the video.
Yeah.
So I can go in my room and play it and practice.
Yeah.
So that's when I got heavy into breaking, but then I got.
So what was the scene like? Was there, you know, a scene at the base there, or was there like a mix between the locals?
Man, there was no scene.
Yeah.
In Okinawa.
I was what 80?
This is 85. So I went to Zukaran Elementary School at the time, and there was like only one kid at the school, and that knew the movies I was talking about. His name was Dorian, and he was the only one that knew how to do the when Ozo used to do the and go across the floor. He was the only kid in school that did it.
Yeah.
And I used to envy him because I couldn't do it. But other than that, there was nobody at the school that actually knew hip hop like that. And then that's when I got into Run DMC from this kid his name was Paul. Some white kid named Paul was like, "Hey man, listen to Run DMC." And I'm like, where? Let me borrow that tape.
Right.
So I borrowed the tape and I played the mess out of that tape, man. I played that mug over and over again. I think I held on the tape too long because by the time I had to give it back, I was forced to give it back. Technically,
so you quasi stole it. He was waiting for it back when he was too nice to ask.
Right. Well, no, he asked for it. I was just like, man, because I knew my mom wasn't gonna buy me no Run DMC tape. First of all, and two, I was forced to give it back because I was playing the song. Like I said, we play music all the time. And I wanted my mom to hear the Run DMC. I was like, yo, mom, I'll play this tape for you, Run DMC. So we picked up the groceries. I got the tape player in the kitchen. I hit play. And I think Run DMC said, he said, what lyrics was it? I know the word damn came out. My mom was like, nope.
Oh.
Where'd you get this from? Who tape is this?
Damn
Take this back.
Came out. Oh.
You know, so damn was a cuss word in the house, so that was a rap.
I can imagine, you know,
rap. But, you know, I was still breaking. You know, I was still breaking, doing social dances. I would, you know, take it to the lip sync contest. You know, but I was really into hip hop. You know, I got to do what was it? I did Joe Ski, the Pee Wee Herman. And I was doing hip hop then. I won my first lip sync contest dance, but I was dancing more, but lip syncing with the words. I won my first contest.
You got any of those videos, man? You got any of those?
Man, no.
No.
Because I was at the youth center. It was at the youth center.
I'm saying, I was just hoping, you know, we could bust some of those out, you know, in a later episode. But
I wish. I wish. So so I was doing hip hop and breaking there. There was not a lot of cats doing that at that time, you know, so I kind of still did it, but converted more into skateboarding and biking. And then when I come back home to visit my family members.
This was in Houston.
So Texas, when we come back home, we go back to Texas. And then we do some family dances, and I'm showing people what I know, what I do. But, you know, people wasn't really into it, when I was in Texas, doing hip hop breaking.
Yeah.
It was more like still doing hip hop, but this is more like around like MC Hammer, Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper. We're all doing the dances from those videos.
Kind of more of a New Jack kind of a.
Yeah, so but that didn't come till later.
Yes,
so I didn't get to the New Jack Swing music until I moved to South Carolina, and that was in 89. So 89. No, take that back, because in 89 I was still rocking with the X Clan. What was around that time? Oh, jeez. Because we were still rocking the special ed around that, about 87, 88, 89. X Clan came out. This is when that the powerful blackness movement of music came out.
So you had like maybe the Public Enemies of the World, the KRS-Ones was popping out more around that time.
Yeah.
Just the popularity of it as well.
Yeah. So the New Jack Swing, I think I got into that more. That was I moved back to Cali, so that was probably my 8th grade, 9th grade year.
Okay. So dang, you're still not in Kansas yet, bro.
No.
Wow. Okay, so you in Cali, 8th grade, 9th grade.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
So I was in Oceanside then.
Okay.
I was in Oceanside, California, my 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade year.
Yeah.
So even then, I wasn't breaking as much. Kind of a funny story is, I got back into breaking my 8th grade year, but it wasn't really popping in Cali at the time. At the time, it was more, it was house.
House was popping in Cali at that time.
So it was a lot of housing going on in Cali. So I got really into house dancing in Oceanside, and they started doing some similarity moves to break it. I was like, yo, this is breaking.
Yeah.
But it wasn't breaking, but they had like certain steps but certain moves that they did remind me of breaking. I was like, oh, that's a B-boy move, and that's a B-boy move, and okay, I know what that move is.
Yeah.
But they just had a different swag. So it was more like, it was house dancing, but it was like hip house.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yes.
And to the point where I went home, grabbed, we had a dance at the youth center. I went home, came back the following week on a Friday.
Yeah.
I brought the VHS tape of B Street and Breaking 1 and 2 to say, hey, this is what y'all doing.
Right.
To play it. And when I showed the tape, a lot of cats was like, what's this? Like, they was like surprised to see B Street. And they were surprised to see Breaking. And the people I'm showing it to, most of them was black anyway. Some of them recognized it, but most of them was like, what is this? What's this? And some of them said, this is old stuff. We don't do this. So they tried to downplay it. They didn't like it, but I was like, yo, this is what y'all kind of doing. Y'all doing some of the stuff from this.
Yeah. But
I could see where their differences were, because some of the stuff that we did up top, they had different names for certain things. But it was dope. So I learned how to house dance, and
that's
when I was
early. I mean, I'm thinking about my sense, but like, house dance. I mean, this is, from my understanding, the music was 80s and 90s, right?
And when I was in Cali,
I mean, I'm talking just the house music in general. Like, it wasn't like.
Now the funny thing was, when I learned how to house, I was dancing like Black Box, CC Peniston, things like that. But I was also dancing to like techno music. And I'm thinking techno music back then was house music, Yes. So techno, and had that in the Black Box or the CC Peniston type of music. So I'm dancing to all of that. But then I'm also doing house steps to like, Mary J. Blige, learning how to feel a certain way doing movements and house steps to certain songs, not just to house music.
Mhm.
But since like in Cali, it was hip house
Yeah.
in a way. We would house dance to hip hop music.
Mhm.
We didn't necessarily house dance to house music. It was mostly hip hop music. So when a
Yes.
hip hop song came on,
Yes.
and it sounded like it had a, like we was dancing house dancing like to Ziggy, toss it up to the top. We was house dancing to music like
Oh,
that.
okay, so yeah, the swag is different then, because the way that the dance is portrayed, even though it might be a similar step, because the music's different, it's a different kind of
Right.
vibe to
So
it,
so just give you an example.
yeah.
Toss It Up by Ziggy, you know, we're house dancing to that.
Yeah.
But it's more hip hop with house steps.
Yes.
So a lot of that's why I say it was hip house, because it wasn't like a full house experience until like later on down my journey. I figured out what house was.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is house. But this is house too. So it was a different terminology and understanding, but I just blend the two together after a while. But yeah, rocking the baggy jeans that was 3 times bigger than your waist. I was wearing a size 28,
Yeah.
right? But my jean size is a size 36.
Wilding out, man.
Tied it up with a shoestring.
Yeah.
Rocking the Reebok Classics. No matter, it had every color. Rocking a hoodie sweater, but with a striped shirt over the top. But the striped shirt had to match the shoes. And then you either rock a beanie or you rock a hat. But everything was in that era. Everything was 10 times bigger anyway. My pants was big, my sweater was big, my shirt was big, and so when you saw me, you knew, okay, he's a house dancer. Like everybody was distinguished. Like, oh, he's a house dancer, or he's a house dancer. You cut the bottom on your jeans, you let them flare out, whatever, and But it was cool. Cali was a dope spot for me for dancing.
For sure.
I started teaching in Cali when I was 15. I did some amazing things, and
So I mean, so basically, you started teaching, but after that, 10th grade, 11th grade, then what happened? I mean,
so when I started teaching,
yeah,
I didn't understand what teaching was. I was just teaching because people wanted to learn how to dance.
right.
So when I taught people how to dance, I taught them how to dance like me. I didn't understand till later on down the years, that's not how you're supposed to teach. But again, I'm 15, I don't know nothing. I have no mentors to teach me anything. So I'm just teaching what I know and what I do to people, So I've been, teaching when I was 15, just teaching people in the streets. There was no studio still. I still didn't even know there was a place to go take dance still. Now I'm 15. I didn't know about going to studios.
Yeah.
And when I thought about studios, all I thought about was ballet. I mean, I ain't going no ballet class.
Yeah.
But anyway, so teaching when I was 15, choreographed a couple things for some homeboys. Got shut out some events for some dance for some homeboys.
Yeah.
I mean, so back in the days, there was a group, and we used to do this, there was a talent show, and the winner that wins this talent show gets to open up for Whitney Houston's show.
Okay.
So
that's big. That's huge.
So the crew that I was with, that I helped choreograph and get the show, we did Come and Talk to Me remix by Jodeci. And I helped with this crew and got them where they needed to be, and I was part of it. And then when they actually got everything down, they didn't call me for rehearsal date. They didn't call me when the show was. So I went to their house and get information. The parents were like, oh, they already left. They did this. Like, they just pretty much just X'd me out of the situation.
Wow.
Because we won the talent show.
Wow.
That's so crazy. I don't know what my life would have been if we opened up for Whitney Houston, but everybody has the universe has its way of.
So they actually opened up for her.
Supposedly, they supposed to did. I mean, so technically, I would say yes.
Yes.
because they left to go do the show.
Yeah, exactly.
But there wasn't like opening up the show, like, how would I say it? It was the act before the
The
first
opening
act.
Yes.
And then so
Yeah.
that's pretty much how.
But yeah, but they were there, and you know what I'm saying, it's a huge resume booster. It's a huge confidence booster. It's a networking thing as well. If you dope, you know what I mean, like you get seen, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of them cats really could dance anyway.
Well, and yeah, we haven't heard about them ever since. So it's all good.
Yeah, it's so then I moved from there. So now I moved from Oceanside,
Yes.
and now I'm all the way to now I'm in Louisiana.
In Louisiana.
Yeah.
So what? This is 10th grade, 11th grade?
Well, this is well the end of my 10th grade, but repeating my 10th grade.
So yeah, okay. So you were dancing a little bit too hard during those days.
Well, I wouldn't say dance too hard, man. You know, I met some cats that showed me some stuff, and I wasn't like doing nothing crazy, whatever. But I was skipping school and hanging out with other dancers, but the reason why I left Cali to go to Louisiana, it wasn't by like, how would I say it? It was by the choice of my dad telling me to convince my mom that we need to leave California, because if I didn't and I would have stayed, I would have went to jail. I got in trouble for, at that time, I got in trouble for burglary at the age of 16. And so we had to,
get to move out, man. Change the environment.
But it didn't stop me from dancing. I went to Louisiana.
Yeah.
I got busy out there.
Yeah.
That's how I made my name at the school. I went to Alexandria Senior High at the time, and my cousin went there, and the way I connected with people was I just danced. I ain't know nobody. I just got busy, danced, and every time hey, there's a dancer.
Yeah.
I just got busy all the time. But I was doing hip house again, but then I got more back into doing like hip hop, dancing more than anything. And then, so that's my second 10th grade year.
Yeah, Louisiana, yep.
So that was 1994. So I didn't move to Kansas City, well technically Belton, Missouri, until 1995. So now
95, so okay.
So now I'm here in Kansas City in 95.
For your 11th grade year.
My 11th grade year.
And you went to Belton High School. Okay. So you come from Louisiana, you've been in Cali, you've been you've been all over the world, you know what I'm saying? And you come to Belton.
Right. So I came to Belton, but I was in Louisiana, but then we moved back to Texas, then we came up here.
Okay, so you went back home to Texas a bit, you know what I'm saying, recalibrated, and then came,
So then, now I'm here in Kansas City. It was, even back then at my school, I'm Belton, I was still dancing, but there was nobody dancing like how I was dancing. So it's like, so I was still in my own world, my own bubble, creating dances, teaching people new steps and stuff. I used to have the dance team at our school. Every time they had like a basketball game or they doing their little drill team dance, whatever, they used to be so mad at me, bro. I mean, they used to be pissed after every game because whatever song they put on, I put on my own show in the bleachers. I would sometimes stand in front of the bleachers and I would just get busy. And so no one's watching them, they're watching me. And they'd be like, yo, why you still in our show? Like, yo, man, the song was banging. I got loose. And it's not my fault people watch me dancing. So I used to get mad about that.
So you didn't have a crew in Belton, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you,
No, I had a crew, but we were no dance crew, I have a crew that, we all hooped. We hoop together, we all hang out, I'll play some songs from, like, one thing about being from Houston and being up here is that when I go back home, I will get music and bring it back that they didn't have yet. So I might have a song or a couple songs maybe that hit the radio down in Texas. I have it maybe about 2 or 3 months before it hit the radio in Kansas City. But I was also rocking like a lot of screw music at the time.
Yes.
So yeah, so my crew wasn't dancers, and I was the only dancer in the crew that I rocked with, but we all related in other aspects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And so, fast forward, you know, you graduated from Belton.
Yeah.
Yep.
97.
97. So 97, I think I'm just going into my freshman, I'm a sophomore year, basically, in like the South, right? And so this is the era when we start to hear the guitars and Cadillacs. There's some kind of spots opening up around the city that are bringing diverse groups of people, I guess more from different cities together in this one spot, you know what I'm saying? And that was for me like the culmination where I saw cats outside of Olathe congregating together, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And also
that was like at Pogo's.
Pogo's was there.
And then we got
Granada was always popping in Lawrence.
Yeah, but we wasn't going then.
We weren't going in.
We was going to Pogo's and we was going to Guitars and Cadillacs, which became Real House Rubies. Later on.
Wasn't there a club right up here on like 75th or something like that? Like this wasn't.
That was Rusty's.
Rusty's.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some up there.
So, but if you're talking about dance,
Orlando's.
Yeah,
that place
was kind of iffy. You know, I've been there maybe a handful of times. I can probably count how many times I've been there.
Exactly.
On one hand. But the only reason why when I went to Orlando is because there was a dance competition.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I would go there.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I ain't trying to toot my horn or whatever, but I knew I was gonna go there and win anyway.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying?
So I was like, I'm going.
Make that money.
Oh,
bro.
the dance competition? Oh yeah, I'm going.
Yep.
I'm gonna go win this.
Yep.
And I will go win it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Row House Rubies is where like I started to dance more.
Yeah.
Here in Kansas City, and make a scene and make a name for myself.
Yeah.
Cause at that time it was me, my homeboy Mickey, and then there was another crew called Bam Squad. But at the same time Mickey was there, he was in a crew called Circuit Breakers.
Okay, so that's they was out Blue Valley dudes, right? Is that the
Mickey was
like Blake, you know, Blake Henson.
That's Bam Squad.
Yeah, that's Bam Squad. Okay. So like Blake was like my homie. We played baseball together, but his brother
Brent Henson
and Brent and I forget the white dude's name who was like Nate. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was called Bam Squad, Breakers, and MCs. I can't remember what the other acronym stood for. But yeah, so that's around that time where I got back into breaking. So I was 97. I got back into breaking, like really heavies when Circuit Breakers, which was like Brother Moses, real name Aaron, my homeboy Mickey, he went by Gadget, then there was Rebel, and then there was who else was in that crew? Was it Royal One, Luke? So yeah, they came in one day to the club, and I was breaking.
Roadhouse Rubies?
And I was breaking.
Yeah.
But these cats came in like I thought these cats was from New York. I didn't even know they was from Olathe, Overland Park area.
Okay.
They walked in with the bubble vests, and then they had the Dada hats on, and they had I was like, yo, who are these cats? Yeah. And they walked in and they just opened up the floor and just got busy. I'm like, yo, where are these cats from?
Yeah. And
so I stepped in, you know, try to get my little shine on.
Yeah.
But the stuff they was doing, I was like, yo, they stepped my game up. But then that's how me and my homeboy Mickey, we got really close in that scene in b-boying, and I started hanging out with him. And at the same time, Bam Squad was doing their thing, so I hung out with them first.
Yeah.
But you know, they was all breaking, they was popping, you know, they was doing their thing, whatever. But they also, you know, made me feel like I was an outsider. Like it was cool,
right? But
we wasn't like cool. It was cool when we was together or dance.
Right.
But these are the same cats that were like, they would hit me up or call me or send me a little page where they was gonna go next. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna give you a quick story about them.
Yeah.
So one day, Mickey came by himself without the Circuit Breakers, and Bam Squad was there, and I was already beefing with them. I had like a little problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't know this, by the way. I thought everybody was like, I thought y'all was crew actually.
No, I wasn't crew with nobody.
Uh-huh.
So I was a lone wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, that's how y'all want to act? Cool. Yo, Mickey, we're gonna battle Bam Squad.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
On the main stage in front of everybody.
Yeah.
We're gonna blow them out.
Yeah.
I said, I need to set the record straight.
Yeah.
Mickey said, all right, cool. I told the DJ, like, yo,
yeah,
play this track.
Yeah.
Get on the mic and tell Bam Squad to go on the stage. Don't tell them why.
Yeah.
Just tell them to go on stage.
Yeah.
DJ say, all right, we need Bam Squad to go to the main stage.
Yeah.
So please head up that way.
It's Roadhouse Rubies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bam Squad make it to the stage and they're confused. Like you can see the confusion on their face.
Right.
They're like, what are we doing up here?
Right.
So me and Mickey, we walk up the other side of the steps and they're like, oh, damn. They like, okay, we see what's up.
Uh-huh.
And I think I said to them, I was like, yo, since y'all think y'all dope dancers, we're gonna show you what dope dancing is all about.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Somebody got this video? Does somebody have the footage of this video?
So it was me and Mickey. It was me, Mickey battling 1, 2, 3. I would say like 5 people. 2 versus 5.
Yep.
We smashed them.
Y'all mopped them?
We smashed them.
Hands down?
We smashed them. We smashed.
Yes.
We smashed them.
Yes.
Man, we was going off.
Yeah. So was the record set straight from that? What happened? Was y'all cool after that? What was the, you know what I mean? Like.
I mean, I didn't have no more beef with them, you know, but I just said it that way.
Yeah.
I still talked to them, I'm cool, but I think some of them was kind of bothered by how I set it up.
Right.
They was bothered, like, oh, I can't believe we did this.
It was kind of a setup, they weren't ready kind of thing. Or...
You ain't supposed to be ready for a battle.
Facts.
You ain't supposed to be ready. You should always be ready. If you stay ready, you always ready.
Facts. I mean, they say.
You know, so they didn't like, at the time, you know, how I handled the situation.
Right.
But it was the best way to do it, you know, in my opinion at that time. And like I said, some people didn't like how I did it. You know, there was more beef, and some people was cool, and some people was just like, whatever. But ever since then, me and Mickey was a dynamic duo after that.
Yeah.
You know, we was just going around. You know, I could always look to him to battle with me no matter what.
So Mickey, you mean
Michael Miller?
Michael Miller, you mean Mickey who went to Lake the East, who Black Mickey, right? Yeah. Okay. So what's up with me? Because he was the first person I really saw who had his whole aura about him was just he wasn't from Kansas. You know what I'm saying? He was always 1 step, 2 steps ahead of everybody in terms of just game, fashion, music, everything. Technology, everything. What's up with me? Because I mean, he hit me up with a job at the Buckle back in the day and stuff, man. I mean, he was, you know, one of those cats, man.
That was my ace.
Yeah.
That was my ace.
Yeah. Let me fast forward to this though. This Roadhouse Rubies phenomenon, it brought a lot of people together. Tell me about your first impressions of me, you know, and we remember about us when we met, you know, honestly, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, get it out there. Cause again, I wasn't a dancer, you know, per se, I was grooving.
Since you want me to talk about you.
Yeah, you know, keep it light for the family.
When I,
There's kids watching.
when I met you, like I remember, I can tell you exactly, there's things that are vivid to me with remembering. And there's some things that they just go over your head. You don't even care about them moments.
Right.
I remember you walking into the club one day and you had on like a jacket, something like this, but it was like I think it was a Letterman's jacket, I think.
Yeah.
And you had your little gold tee, you had your little waves going on, and you had your hand in your pocket, and you just walked, and you were just quiet. You didn't say nothing, and you just stood there and you just looked around the whole time. And I was like, what's up with this dude, man? Like why is he standing like this?
Right.
But then again, I was like, but you had style. You know, it wasn't like you came in, you just had this style, like, You know, you didn't command the room, but you command the room to where it was like people just walked around you, and you just sit there. You know, people just walked around. You do a little head nod, whatever, and then you didn't say much.
Yeah.
But it was just intriguing to like see how you walked in, how you dress. You know, so I had approached you like, yo, man, what's up, man?
Yep.
Who you?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I'm Ison. You know, you were like, yeah, man. You wasn't the way you are now.
Yeah.
You was too laid back. You're like, yo, I'm Ison. I was like, this motherfucker don't talk.
Yeah, I was still coming out of my shell because at that time I wasn't actually, you know what I mean?
I was like, yo, man, what you do? I play basketball. Like, this dude don't talk at all. Like, you didn't say much. You was just you was too cool. You know, you just sit there like this with the jacket on and bob your head, whatever. You didn't dance. You just stood in the club most of the time. And then if somebody wanted to dance with you, you dance. And even at the time, I don't even remember you like the crew you ran with.
Yeah.
They macked chicks down.
Yeah.
You didn't mack chicks down.
I was shy, man.
You were just chilling.
I was chilling, yeah.
And if a girl did say with you, you might say a couple words. Yeah, I'm nice. You didn't say much.
I was chilling.
And you know, like yo, man, you dance? Nah, I don't dance, man. All I do, I play basketball. That's my thing. That's what I do. So you don't dance? Nah, man. I play basketball. I do my dancing on the court.
Right.
It's like,
It's like, what?
like, you do your dancing on the court?
Yeah.
Like, can you hoop?
Right.
You was like, yeah, I'm good. And I was like, yeah. Everybody said they can hoop, but I don't know if you dope or not. And then I started hearing more stories about you, asking questions like, oh yeah, he can hoop. He's dope. Like he's good with the handles. He's good with this. I was like, okay, that's what's up. You know, and the more you came to the club, I would say what's up to you, and we would talk. We would vibe out a little bit more, and the more we vibe out, and I try to get you to dance as much as possible, or move, or do
always
something.
Trying to give me something. He was always trying to get me to dance. So it was like, because, you know, my sister, she was a better dancer. Because remember, they performed at Roadhouse Reese at one time. Her, Chaz, and Risa. Three when they did Janet Jackson, I guess Salome, I think. They had the dance contest at one time, and I think Circuit Breakers, they won it that one time that was there. But, you know, they were dancing. But she would teach me some moves, you know, like doing the little, you know, the crab step, whatever. And I was doing that one time. I was doing some moves. And that's when I remember you came to me vividly. You were like, yo, I see you dancing here. Let's bust this routine. You know what I'm saying? You were like, show me some stuff. I was like, yeah. I was like, man, I can't do this shit. And then I just went back to dancing with, you know, how I was doing, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, okay. Like I said, fast forward, I didn't realize until later when I was in Tokyo, like, oh, this is what Suge was talking about. This was the culture. This was what he was trying to put me on game with. Like, it wasn't just about the dance moves. It was about the history and the culture behind all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, thank you for just having my eyes open just a little bit to be able to take that in. Like, yo, I know somebody in KC who is about this lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't just about going to the club. It's a lifestyle, bro. And hearing you speak right now, it's been your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I tell people, you know, I've been in the hip hop since the 80s. It's not like I just jumped in it later on, like, yo, I want to do this. Like, I've been going through it, you know, since the 80s, you know, watching it change and unfold and go this direction.
Right.
But, you know, when I was at the club, I try to get everybody to understand the actual vibe of the culture. It's not just, you know, it's building with one another in the club, you know, trying to connect with you, vibe with you. I'm gonna show you this, you show me that, you know, but also I'm coming from California where we've been doing that in Cali
For
you know, at different youth centers and jams and house parties, and I come to Kansas City, it was a little bit different. I was like, what? It's not, y'all don't do this?
Yeah.
Y'all don't do house parties? Like, well, y'all have a house party and y'all dance in the house? Like, oh yeah, we have house parties, but they wasn't like dancing house party. They was like hang out, play music house parties.
Exactly.
Like, this is not the culture I know.
So that being said, you know, what about the scene in Kansas right now, man? You know, because again, when I came here in 2014 and you DJ'd and helped me organize the Connection dance battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Angel, you know, she was there, you know what I'm saying? She's one of the dopest dancers right now, globally. Joshy G, I don't know if he still dances. I see him online a bit. He's on the workout tip, I think, right now.
He's working out.
He's
I mean,
working out,
I
so
was
like-
with him, matter of fact, Saturday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Saturday. Friday. I was with him Friday. And
I mean, Jigsaw, I see you got this school going and stuff like that. Yeah, man, what's going down?
Joshy G, he's doing his thing. I mean, he doesn't get out and do it like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
But when he does gets out, it's like a damn unicorn. When he
Mm-hmm.
goes out, you see him and he dances, you got to capture the moment for what it is. Because
Mhm.
after that, you might not see him dance for the rest of the night.
Right, right.
You might not see him dance for maybe a month or two, maybe longer than that, depending on how he's feeling and what the situation is.
Right.
But the scene here in Kansas City, it's like it died down. Everybody's ego tripping.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to be the man, and they don't want people to learn from certain people, and they don't want, like say, for instance, if I taught you, I'm not going to tell you not to go learn from such and such.
Right.
At the end of the day, you got to go over there and figure it out for yourself.
Correct.
You go over there and you be like, okay, this ain't for me, or the information I got wasn't the right information, or you might learn something from that situation.
Right.
But people in Kansas City, they're not that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I teach you, you stay here.
Mm-hmm.
If you go there, now we're in a different agreement because I don't get along with that person. I don't like that person. Now, if you go over there and talk to that person, now they're in their head. They talk about me, what they say, they're all in their feelings because they have something going on.
I see.
Emotional with the other person, which has nothing to do with the student.
Right.
And me on the other hand, I'm the opposite. I tell my kids, or who I teach, take from where you want to take from.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to realize if the information is truthful or if it's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're going to either vibe with that person or you don't.
Yeah.
But if you learn from them, and it's something I can teach you, bring it back, teach me.
Yeah.
Let me know some things.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, with me, of who I am, how I am about the culture, how I'm all about studying, I'm always about taking classes, how I'm always about traveling to take classes.
Yes.
Taking from the pioneers, that's always been my thing. Education is key. And when people take classes from me, I'm teaching them that education.
Yeah.
But then they will be bothered because their teacher will tell them something totally different.
Yeah.
And I'm going, that's not true.
Yeah.
Here's the information. Here's where you can go get it.
Yes.
And here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And they go back to their teacher and be like, hey, you wrong. And their teachers be mad at me, like, yo, you talking shit about me. Like, first of all, I didn't know you taught them.
Yes.
Until just now.
Yeah.
And when I said they're teachers, I said your teacher is misinformed. Your teacher probably was not educated on this.
Yeah.
So this is what it really is.
Yeah.
And this is where I got information from.
Yeah.
If they told you part of the story and said you was wrong, then that's what you got.
Yeah.
But I'll take that. You can be mad at me.
But the thing is, if you're giving people information and you're sourcing it, referencing it, then it's up to them to take that further. You know what I'm saying? You're giving them the blueprint. So
yeah, but most of these cats, they're kids, they're young.
Yeah.
They're like 12, and 11, and 10, and maybe 13, 14. They can elaborate more, but they're telling their teachers like, Shug said, you're wrong.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I don't say specifically they're wrong.
Yeah.
I said your teacher's wrong. I don't know who your teacher is, but your teacher is wrong.
Yeah.
This is what hip hop is.
Yeah.
This is what the culture is. This is what the movement is. This is what this stuff is called. This is where the lineage go back to. This is where. So I'm giving you gems after gems after gems because my teachers, Buddha Stretch and Lee and Khalid and Sekou and all these cats, they've done their due diligence to learn the history just as well.
I mean, they are the history as well, so you're getting it from the horse's mouth right there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and they also do their research too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know, they
yeah.
also have their understanding and philosophy that they share,
Mhm.
and they're my mentors.
Mhm.
And so I'm teaching from their lineage,
Mhm.
and just keeping it going, trying to keep that lineage going.
Yes.
To where like, you know, you can teach whatever you want, but you gotta have some actual context.
Yes.
What you're teaching.
Yes. You gotta have context. You gotta understand where this came from. What we call street dance culture. There's roots to it, and not saying there's an end all be all roots to it, but you know, there's roots.
Oh, there's always
Yeah.
roots, because if you're a student and you come to take my workshop,
Mhm.
and I ask you questions, but you've been taking hip hop 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, whatever,
Yeah.
and your teacher's a hip hop teacher,
Yeah.
and I ask you hip hop questions,
Yeah.
and you can't answer none of them,
Right.
then your teacher's not teaching you correct information.
Yeah.
You should be able to answer at least one
Right.
out of 10.
Right. Right. Of basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Of just basic.
Right. If
Yeah.
you can't answer none of them.
So what would you ask somebody? Like, for example, let's say, you know, someone who's been learning 5 years, let's say they're in their, you know, they're out of school now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What will be some basic information you think somebody should understand about?
I'll ask them a question like, what's a rhythm?
That's a hard question.
Not really.
How would I answer that? What's a
Because I say, all right, I'll play the song.
Yeah.
I want you to find the rhythm.
Okay.
How would you do it?
Down, up, 16 beat.
No, you bounce.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. I would bounce according to those different.
The bounce is the rhythm.
Yeah.
The bounce is your metronome.
Yep.
If you don't know that basic,
Yeah. What are we talking about?
like, yo, everybody, find the rhythm.
Yeah.
I should have to be like, bounce to the rhythm.
Right.
Like, find the rhythm.
Yeah.
Hey, let me see you guys bounce. What you guys bouncing to? You should be like the rhythm.
Yes.
You know? So, but a lot of cats that teach, they just teach people how to do things, but they don't articulate what they're doing and what they're teaching.
Yeah. It's like, okay, all right, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, but it's like, wait. Listen to the song. What's the rhythm in the song? What's happening in the song? Kind of understanding the musicality of it before you go in and be like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you know, but also, you know, a lot of these cats don't teach to music. They just teach and then put the music on.
Ah, yes.
You know, and they teach to the same song for like 30, 40 minutes.
I have a question. How do you feel about the choreo dancers? Like, so I'm starting to run across this where, oh, I don't dance, I can do choreo though. You know what I mean? So if we got that person said I can do choreo and said, hey, you know, let's you know, get inside from this all groove and stuff, they wouldn't do that because they I guess they can do that. But if you taught them a choreo piece or something like that, they could do that. What is that?
But that's like the way that their body was trained and how they understood the dance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can pick up choreo quickly.
Yeah.
But if you put them in a circle to dance by themselves,
Yeah.
they can't think for themselves.
But how does that happen though, in terms of a sight? I don't know. You know, for me, I feel like if you can do choreo, you can dance. I feel like I can like dance with stuff, but I can't do choreo because it, you know.
Man, I can teach you how to do a lot of things. Don't mean you know how to do it.
Right.
You can teach me how to say a lot of different things in Japanese.
Right.
I don't know how to speak it. You can teach me all types of words,
Right.
but I can't hold a conversation.
Right.
I can't engage myself into go out and go to Japan and walk the streets and negotiate stuff because I don't speak the language. I know words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then again, one, I'm not around the environment, so I'm not in that cultural space. And two, I don't practice it, you know, so therefore I'm still not in that cultural space. And then three, in my mind, I'm going, well, what I'm gonna use it for, technically I should know I'm using it for because I wanna be in that cultural space, but I choose not to. So people that do choreography, that dance, because choreography, when you do it, you tend to still dance. Uh, but when they're doing choreography, but the people they mostly hang around with, they're not in that cultural space. They go to hip hop events. They don't know what social gathering is. They don't know how to vibe out. They don't know what a dance step is. Because in choreography, we're doing a lot of different things that come from multiple different dance steps.
Right.
But just done at your, choreography. I call it personalized choreography. I mean, because you're gonna personalize it the way you want to fit around with you.
Right.
So it's not technically hip choreography.
Right.
It's personalized choreography, probably done to hip hop music.
Got it.
Onto the next person. And so if the person don't understand the basis and foundation of just social dancing by itself, of course they're not gonna do anything else because I'm a 1-2 guy.
Yep.
Tell me how to do this step, what
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like, what my arm's supposed to be,
Yeah.
and I'll do that.
Right.
All right, now let me see you dance. I don't know how to do that. And if
Bring it
you
down.
don't know how to dance, in my mind, in my opinion, that means you can't keep a rhythm. Because the whole dance is based off a bounce.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, Shug. When you put it like that, it makes complete sense. Yeah, I could use some words. I mean, you can speak Japanese.
Nah.
That's profound. That's what's up.
So these cats, if they really want to dance, they gotta actually go into the culture and the social experience and be around that vibe to understand it's a social exchange
Yes.
of dance. It's not like, I'm just gonna, don't get me wrong, people learn how to dance at home doing their own thing.
Right.
But they don't really get better until they get around this social environment to where they can build off of one another. You do a dance, and I'm gonna try to do what you're doing, but I'm gonna add my own spin to it. And you're gonna add. We're having an exchange, we're having a conversation of translation of movement.
So tell us about this studio, Break Free. Tell us about this and your vision for this and how we can support Break Free moving forward here in KC.
So Break Free was a franchise. The main Break Free is in Houston, Texas. Founded by Moy, 2019. I reached out to Moy, me and my homeboy Kevin at the time, wanted to buy a franchise, wanted to move up to Kansas City. Brought to Kansas City, started teaching breaking and DJ classes. Later on, ended up opening up some hip hop classes and some art classes. And we just teach the history, understanding the culture itself, sharing the history, not just to the students, but also educating the parents, and trying to build a platform for kids to take the talent that they learn in the school to use it later on in life for if they want to monetize it or not. They want to do DJs, their high school, or family events, or one day become a famous DJ or a dancer, give them a platform to where they don't understand the ropes of getting the agents and dancing for performances and on big stages, get them ready for all those type of atmosphere.
Nice.
Here at Break Free. So we're not just a dance studio or actual school that teach, like I said again, history. So the kids that take dance here, they learn the lineage of a dance move or a dance step. They learn the cultural aspect of Black and brown and understanding of how this culture was a movement in a positive direction from negativity. So we don't sugarcoat really much anything here. We keep it Everything is 100 with the students, with the parents. They do homework, they do research, they do reports.
Awesome.
They watch documentaries.
Awesome.
Um, and so we try to keep the crust on the pie
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. And so we need more of these, cultural centers, for lack of a better phrase,
People can come in, like you said, not only learn the steps, the dance, but the culture behind it, the knowledge behind it, and the elements behind what we call hip hop. Because it's a dope culture and it's taking over the world, and it's a billion, billions of dollars of industry out there, man. So
Right. It's so much stuff in this hip hop culture that I'm pretty sure that we've been tapped into. Uh, and the legacies and legends that we didn't get a chance to speak to that can give more gems
Yeah.
to this culture so to flourish. But other than that, it's a dope culture because you can't go nowhere without hearing hip hop or seeing hip hop or some type of art form of hip hop in commercial or stages, even like ballets trying to blend in hip hop with
Yeah.
their.
So, it's a necessary skill globally, man. Right now in Japan, it's a mandatory hip hop dance, is a mandatory subject in junior high schools, in high school. So it's like these things where you get these life skills where you can go anywhere in the world and be like, boom, this community out there, and I can connect with somebody who's based off of this. So
I remember when you told me that years ago.
Yeah.
And I always try to find a way to connect that to schools.
Mhm.
And I still haven't figured out how to get into how to make it a curriculum in a school. I know that some colleges have it.
Yeah.
Not all colleges. I don't know any junior high, elementary, or high school that actually have it as a class. But I know they have, like, depending on what kind of school you go to, some type of academy or something, they might have like a dance class, but you're learning like ballet and jazz and hip hop and stuff like that. But
Yeah, let me know if I can, help you with getting some of that research or how it's working in Japan.
we grew up with a lot of people I went to school with, their mothers and fathers are longtime teachers out here, we're in higher ups in a lot of the school district committees and stuff like that. So, the same people, man, but like, you can get a conversation going with somebody, let me know, because I'm definitely down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man, anything to elevate the positivity
Yeah.
and understanding of hip hop culture is always a plus for me. It's always good to see it move in a positive direction. And a lot of people that I teach now, I get a lot of slack, because not all my kids are melatonin, but
Listen,
for
man.
me, education has no color.
So,
Education has no boundary. Knowledge is power. And the more knowledge and the more education you have, the further you can go. And I believe that 100%. So for all the haters out there, they get mad because, my kids ain't all melatonin. Hip hop never said that you had to be melatonin.
No. So you gotta be dope and respect.
Hip hop is one of the cultures that I like and love the most, is because it's open arms to anybody until you start disrespecting the facts of the culture. We gotta let you go. But other than that, you're more than welcome to come in, full brace. We give you the 100% hug, but you start acting and start wilding out. That's where we gotta be like, yo, man, you gotta cut you off.
Cut you off,
Yeah, but other than that, that's one thing I liked about the culture, is that they never discriminated against anybody. Any culture is just like, yo, you're here. What can you bring to the table? And what can you share? Instead of just come to the table and eat everything, but you didn't provide nothing. So I like it. I think it's dope.
Yeah, man. We out here, Overland Park, Kansas, you know what I'm saying? Johnson County, Kansas, my hometown. Suggs made it his hometown, but he's by way of many places globally, so again, it's good to be out here with you, Shug. Good to connect with you, brother, man. I love you so much, man. Keeping the culture alive, and you got a place in Japan anytime you come, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're waiting for you.
I'm gonna make my way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my way. Even though I do live here in Kansas City, Overland Park, but Houston will always be home.
Okay. H-Town, baby.
H-Town.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what to do.
Thanks for tuning in for another episode of ABCD, All Black People Can Dance podcast. We got more episodes coming up, and yeah, stay tuned. Holla.
Peace.